Ladies and gentlemen, this is Dragonball Speak, episode 56, a double episode backed by popular demand, and the best double episode we ever could have done. So it's really kind of a good thing that we waited till now, because, ladies and gentlemen, this is going to be a doozy. This is a doozy. This is a show where we watch and summarize and review every episode of Dragon Ball Z, 3 episodes at a time, and we reviewed them each on a scale of 1 to 7 stars. I've seen the series before. Wesley's never seen the series before, so we kind of got that dichotomy, as they say. And let's jump right in, because we got a shit ton of stuff to cover.
Aye, aye, Capitan.
Episode 180, the fight is over.
The fight is over.
You know what? We're just going to do this, though. Let's at least address the elephant in the room, okay?
Yes.
The elephant in the room.
The narrator mentioned the Garlic Jr. saga.
That's the elephant in the room. So this actually technically canonizes Garlic Jr. into existence.
Which is why we decided to do a double, because this is such a big deal for both of us.
No, realistically, people, this is the one you've been waiting for. Gohan is now a Super Saiyan 2.
Super Saiyan. Awakening. Yeah, it happened.
It happened. And it's the biggest moment of the series so far, so by a lot. This is the culmination of everything we've watched up into this point. This is it. This is the thing.
11 years in the making.
Which technically is actually 12 years because of the hyperbolic time chamber, but regardless. The fight is over, episode 180. We got a lot to cover. So Goku's out of breath in the beginning, and Yamcha's talking, and Goku's out of breath, and Yamcha's just like not shutting up. I don't know. I felt the need to write that. That's how much he was talking.
He's talking about how like Cell's body's gone, or half of it's gone, and oh my god, what's gonna happen? Like, this is crazy. Goku killed somebody. Like, blah, blah, blah.
Oh, that's right. He's like, oh, you guys, don't you get it? We won. It's over. And everyone else is like, dude,
nah,
it ain't over.
Even I knew that last episode. I called that.
Yeah, that was a. Imagine if the Cell arc like ended right there.
Right there. There's multiple times where I'm like, is this the end of the Cell arc? Like, is this really how it's gonna like? We're gonna get into it, but
yeah,
I was like, is an explosion really gonna do it?
Oh yeah, it's maybe. So yeah, Yamcha wouldn't shut up. Cell regenerates, of course.
Yeah.
And he's like, that was pretty good, but you're out of breath. You put pretty much everything into that attack, and I may be weaker as well now. Like Goku calls him out, but it's like not to the extent that Goku is weaker. Dude, it looked like Silent Hill to me whenever he was like, before he regenerated, when he was just legs.
Yeah.
Like the guys that walk around without arms.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's cool.
Looked like Silent Hill.
Begs the question, how the hell are you going to beat, how are you going to beat Cell if he's regenerating?
Yes. Theory?
No, I really don't have one, no. I thought the explosion was going to do it. I was like, that's a good call. If you blow up, like it's a Wolverine Deadpool style, if you blow up enough of the body, there won't be enough body left over to regenerate.
I think it would have probably worked because 16 said that it would, and I think he would have known.
Yeah.
So yeah, Goku's drained, Cell's drained too. They're exchanging a lot of blows, and there's some really brutal hits. Like Goku's taking most of the hits, but he is getting some back in. But there's like one where he gets hit in the back of the head, and he's just like
he's going down, and he like lets out. It's so good.
It sounds like he's like dying.
Yeah. It was a hard one.
So yeah, it's actually a really, really good sequence of fights, like huge blows on each other, but Goku ends up, more or less taking the L. Double punch.
My next note is flaming fish sticks, though.
What is that?
That's something the reporter says. The reporter's just saying the most outrageous things. Like
we hate journalists in this house in Dragon Ball Speak.
Yes, I hate myself. He has nicknames for everybody too, which is fun. Like he has a different nickname for Goku every time he mentions him.
Yeah, something about like the way he looks, like his hair or whatever.
Golden haired styled man or something. A bunch of crazy things.
Yeah, so we get a barrage from Goku. He's like backed into a corner and he's just like letting off a barrage of energy blasts, and like they're pretty effective. But Cell ends up putting up this gigantic like energy ball / shield type thing. That more or less protects him, and the film crew is like, they're saying their thing, and so this is the point where we get Cell is like, well, clearly you've lost, Goku, so why don't you go take a sensu bean and come back and let's try this again.
Yeah.
And then we get the speech from Vegeta, which is definitely a good speech about like the honor and the fact that like he would have no honor were he to take the sensu bean in the middle of the fight, and that's not like a real way to win. And he's clearly the strongest one they have right now. Yeah. That ended up not being true, but he's clearly the strongest one they have, and just wait and see what he does.
Yeah.
He's got a plan.
Yeah, it makes sense. Goku wouldn't want to take the sensu bean no matter what anyway.
No, he wouldn't have.
He's got other plans going on, so the sensu bean's not necessary. But they make good points. Goku would not take one, neither would Vegeta. And Vegeta scolds Trunks for even
suggesting it.
Yeah.
Yeah, so that's really the gist of the episode. The gist is like Goku's got his back on the ropes and he's like losing. And actually, I didn't put the last part. We weren't diligent about notes this time because these episodes were so important and good that we took less notes. Yeah. But towards the end, that's when he ends up. It's this episode, isn't it? Yeah, he ends up deciding that the fight is over. That's why it's called that.
We don't find out why, but yeah, he's like.
Yeah, he says, "I'm done."
He gives up. He says, "You're better than me. You're stronger. There's no point in us fighting anymore." Which I knew immediately was like. I mean, everyone's like, "Oh my God, he's giving up. He's turning his back on humanity." Blah blah blah. But I'm like, "Okay, guys, come on.
Yeah.
If Goku knew this was the only chance, then he would keep fighting.
If Goku was the only one,
if
Goku was the only one there, and as a matter of fact, if Gohan wasn't there at all, Goku would fight until he died.
Yeah, he's Captain America in Endgame.
Yeah. Except if Captain America had a son that was like twice as strong as him.
Yeah.
What'd you give this episode?
I gave it a 6 out of 7. I had a good time. It was mostly the fight in the beginning between the two of them that really
is awesome.
Yeah, did it for me.
Yeah, the reporters brought this down to a 5 out of 7 for me. There was a lot of like film. There's probably 5 minutes of film crew in this episode.
There's an episode, maybe next one. I don't know. I take some points off for some later. There's one episode that is like egregious.
It has finally like dialed back at the point we're at now to where it's not so bad. But yeah,
camera's broken. Thank goodness.
So episode 181, Faith in a Boy. Goku thanks Cell. He's like, thanks. I actually like really enjoyed the fight. Like I learned a lot about myself, and like I appreciate if you weren't evil and a jerk, I would appreciate the opportunity.
It's weird.
It is. Freaking. What's the big bald dude's name? Piroshki?
Piroshki, yeah.
He starts calling Satan Maestro in this episode. Yeah. Has he always called him that?
No, he's called him Master, but now he's saying...
Now he's Maestro!
I'm saying he has said Master before, now he's saying Maestro.
He does it a lot.
Yeah, it's weird. These characters suck. I want all of them to die. Except Mr. Cannoli, but he's cool.
Cannoli?
Whatever his name is.
Who's that?
Kanosi.
Oh, the blonde one?
Yeah. He's the least annoying of the group because he doesn't talk.
Pizza, Piroshki, and someone else.
Mr. Cannoli, I believe.
It wasn't Cannoli.
Well.
Anyway, so Gohan's up. Yeah, so Goku's like, there actually is someone stronger than me, and he will beat you, and he's standing right over there. And Cell's like, everyone's confused. Gohan has no clue who he's talking about. Like, everyone's confused, and he's like, Gohan, yeah, I think you can do it.
Does Gohan not have an idea? I get the sense that he does, because he's like stoic the entire first episode. I think he like knows something's up at least.
He definitely knows something's up.
Yeah. Yeah,
but I don't think he knows. No, I don't think he knew that his dad would put him up to plate. I don't. I know. I would say for sure he didn't know that. He realizes why his dad did it, but that doesn't I don't think he was anticipating it.
My theory is wrong, by the way.
What was your theory again?
My theory was that Goku dies on purpose, or lets himself die to give Gohan the strength he needed to win, which I'm in the same realm, not exactly played out the same way, but I had a feeling, and I was correct, that it's going to come down to Gohan, and he's going to have to unleash something that he doesn't really have control over. I thought Goku's death would have been the one that brought it out. Turns out it was Yamcha getting kicked in the ribs, but
Turns out it was 16's death.
Yeah.
But Yamcha helped. I guess we'll get there. Never mind. So yeah, Piccolo's pissed. He's like, what are you talking about? Like, he's not. Basically, he's like saying like, there's no possibility. Like, Gohan's not as strong as you. He's a kid. Mm-hmm. He's, so on and so forth. And Goku's just kind of like, oh, just trust me, man. Like, and they explains, he says, Gohan, like, were you able to follow that whole fight? And he was like, yeah, but you weren't fighting at full power. And Goku's like, I was fighting at full power. You just don't think so because you were comparing me to your own power, which is greater than my own.
Mm-hmm.
And Piccolo's like, is that true? And he's like, yeah. So we start to see the writing on the wall here. There's actually foreshadowing to this whole thing happening, to Gohan's power being larger than Goku's. You know, no one ever really individually picked it out when they're together, but when they come out of the hyperbolic time chamber, Gohan walks out first, and everyone's like, holy crap, that power is amazing. Yeah. Oh my God. Goku got so much stronger, but Gohan's the one who came out first. It's actually him.
And Goku's known this all along. He said back in the hyperbolic time chamber, like, you can be stronger than me, and that's what we're going to focus on here.
Oh, for sure. Yeah, one of our viewers even pointed that out. So Gohan was comparing, and so he is. They were definitely saving on the animation in the first half of this episode,
just a bit.
But the second half looks a lot better. So
there's like a weird mixed animation throughout some of the next ones too. Like I would write cool art or great art, and then like 10 minutes later, I'd be like, ooh.
The episode 183, or sorry, 184.
Fruit fly or something with the.
184 is like the best looking episode that we've had of Dragon Ball Z. Period.
Yeah, I really like the art in that
one. Yeah, but a couple of these like sometimes looked a little rough. So let's see where we're at. So yeah, they were saving on the animation. There's a lot to unpack here with Gohan's character, but more or less he steps up to plate. And this is where we get like Satan thinks that Goku's gonna pick him to fight, and he's like, "Oh, my stomach!"
Yeah, God,
that starts the stomach jokes.
Starts the worst like thing ever. I'm so tired of this dude. I remember saying a few weeks ago, very happy that Mr. Satan is out. I thought he was dead, and sure enough, he's gonna turn out to be the character that talks the most. Maybe second to the reporter throughout this entire fight.
He also happens to be the catalyst that which creates Gohan's power.
Yeah, he does.
He's the champ.
He's the Yajirobe of this arc.
That's literally the actual perfect way to put it. I hadn't even thought of that. That's a perfect way to put it. So what did you think was happening at this point? So when Goku is like, there's someone else, did you know it was Gohan?
Yeah. Yeah.
There's really no other option, but it's still like,
I put maybe it's Gohan. I put Gohan is going to pick either Vegeta or Gohan, and then I knew it whenever he said Gohan because I knew it was Gohan, but I was like maybe Vegeta because I'm sure
it does make you think.
Yeah, and I'm sure like it'd be Vegeta wants to get in this fight, and you know like as a show writer, I'm sure they're like let's give the Vegeta fans something to eat, but it was Gohan the whole time.
Mm-hmm.
And it's awesome. I like that Gohan is like
right.
Maybe not, Dad.
I don't know if I can do it, Dad.
And I love that, and it doesn't get into it too much this episode, but I think 2 episodes from now.
Let's just go ahead.
We get hints of Piccolo, like his inner dad is coming out.
Oh, for sure, hard.
And it comes out way hard later.
In a really actually succinct like way.
Yeah,
like it actually
really
is. Yeah, it's awesome.
Yeah, but Piccolo is immediately like, no, this is stupid. You're risking your son's life. Like, why are you doing this? This is a dumb decision. And I think Piccolo's onto something. My whole thing, even knowing like Gohan has the strength, in my head I'm like, he's got the strength, but he's not like the martial arts master necessarily.
Exactly.
Like you can be the strongest man in the world, but like somebody with technique can whoop your butt. And Cell's got all of that. So
yeah, right.
Gohan, I'm not even necessarily convinced Gohan's going to be. I mean, that theory's a little down the drain now because he's definitely super powerful. But yeah, I was like, I don't know. Even if Gohan's got the strength, who knows if he's got the technique?
Oh, I mean, it ain't over yet. It is far from over.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
And really, the way it starts off, like Cell's talking his trash, and Gohan walks up, and he's like, he says, "I'll try, Dad," or whatever. Then the famous. This is the most. I'm sorry. I've got so much on my mind right now that I'm actually having a hard time. But this is such an infamous scene. Goku giving Cell the senzu bean.
Senzu bean, yeah.
What are your thoughts on that? It's freaking infamous.
Yeah, I think it's sick.
Yeah,
I respect it. It's like definitely like a dick move, like as a dad, but it's a dick move on the surface. I respect what he's doing. It's funny, but the reactions from the rest of the Z fighters is funnier to me. They're like,
they think Goku's like straight up lost his freaking mind.
Yeah, they're like, dude, what are you doing? You're giving up. Now your son's gonna go kill himself to fight, and you're gonna give his enemy the strength he needs to do it. Wild.
Yeah, and this is really so were Gohan to beat Cell. This is so that Cell knows because he's so prideful, like that he lost at full strength.
Yeah, I respect
I think that's what I think the philosophy would be behind the decision, and I love it. And even proving to Gohan that he was capable.
Yeah.
Yeah, this is the point now where like this we're evolving into something like really truly special here, where this is the culmination. Like this is what they've been building towards with Gohan's character for the entire series since the first episode. They've been building toward this, or I guess you could say like third episode.
We got one more episode to go.
Oh yes. But even this, like like Goku having faith in Gohan like this, like and realizing he even says like, when I was your age, I wasn't half as strong, bro. You weren't even a 100th as strong as Gohan at his age.
He was like not strong at all.
He was at this age. He was fighting in the first ever tournament with Krillin.
Yeah,
which is like we're so far beyond that point.
Under 400 power level, if I'm not mistaken, because I remember 400 being a shocking number at the start of Dragon Ball Z.
Oh yeah, so in the beginning of Dragon Ball, it's like what,
dozens.
100? Yeah, maybe 50. So like we're far beyond.
We don't even talk about power levels anymore. Like they don't even mention it because it's just like we're all ending planets. Numbers don't matter.
It's basically to the point where like, numbers don't matter. At this point you'd be like, whoa, his power level is for 50 trillion
million.
Yeah, it's like, well, we're past that point.
Yeah.
So Cell's talking trash now. He's like, well, you know, if you want to fight your own father's battles for him because he's a weakling or whatever, then so be it. And Gohan, I won't lie, he didn't look too great at first. He straight up gets turned into a punching bag at the end of this episode.
Like grabbed,
literally
held punching bag.
Like he held him and freaking beat the crap out of him.
Yeah, I do want to point out this was my least favorite episode of them all. Well, maybe the next one. Not that they're bad or anything, but this one has the reporter, very annoying. They introduce an old couple as another narrator to talk about what's happening. And then, just to rub it in, the salt in my wounds, they cut to King Kai. Because we got to hear what King Kai says. So this episode lost a point just on that immediately. And it was like a string. It was like reporter, old couple, King Kai. And I was like, I'm gonna punch my TV.
Who is the old couple?
Apparently the neighbors of Chi-Chi.
Oh, neighbors?
I don't know. They know Chi-Chi, and they know that Goku's her husband, and it's not like they're famous people, so Chi-Chi's
they're just like, anything. Wow, that's crazy. They don't even really say anything.
No, they're just like, they're literally like, is that Goku? And then, you know, Chi-Chi's husband, he's like, well, I don't know.
King Kai luckily was only like 10 seconds long.
It was, but I don't even want to see that disgusting little catfish face of his. He's actually not that bad looking. I just hate his voice.
I like his character design.
Yeah, his character design's cool.
Yeah, the voice is a lot, but the character isn't. Nice. So we get a smirk from Gohan. Like, yes, he was turned into a punching bag and he gets knocked down to the ground, but he like looks back up and he's smiling. So like he's kind of like, to me, that tells me it's like these punches feel light.
Yeah.
I don't know. Like that's what I got from the smirk.
I actually get like a lot of weird vibes from Gohan throughout this because like I think he's just like pushed beyond his limits and he's not handling it well, obviously as nobody would be able to handle that situation well, because he's like getting his like shit rocked, he's laughing, and then like in the show like minutes later he's crying, and then he's like has no faith in himself, and then he's wondering why he's even out here, and then all of a sudden he's like the strongest fighter. He's like going through he's on a roller coaster. Poor guy. Yeah,
so it starts off and like he's getting the crap beaten out of him, and then he's like, I know why my dad did. We're kind of getting into the next episode, but I know why my dad did this. Like I've got these flashes of anger, and I become more powerful, and so on. We'll get into that next episode, but
yeah.
So I think he's like realizing that's his dad's plan, so he's laughing, and then he's like getting the crap beaten out of him, so that's not fun. And then it's like, okay, now my friends are involved, so this is like no longer. This isn't fun anymore. Like, this isn't a game anymore. This is becoming, like, everyone I know might die. And then, of course...
11 years old. Or 12 years old.
Right. Yeah, this is also a kid.
Yeah. Despite all that, his fit...
Oh, popping,
so
dude.
sick. He's got, like... His V is, like, deeper than ever.
Yeah.
And his chest pecs are just nuts. Looks so sick. And then, obviously, you know, the Saiyan transformation, like, his standard yellow hair now and the blue eyes is so sick. And
the fit is... Yeah,
the
good.
Is this it? Fit. Is this the fit?
It's
like this, but like a ripped chest.
Yeah, it's Piccolo's outfit, but like with Piccolo's shoes, and like he doesn't have an undershirt, and he takes off the cape and stuff, of course.
Very sick.
I give this episode a 6 out of 7.
I gave it a 5 out of 7 because
reporters.
This is the episode that most got to me with the like outside interactions, the reporters and stuff like that.
Yeah, I can see that. I think I was just so focused on like the switch to Gohan that it didn't bother me as much this episode.
Yeah.
Episode 182, Gohan's plea. So at this point, what are you thinking? Like, Gohan isn't like going in and just cleaning house.
Yeah.
Do you think like you're watching this and you're like, yeah, Gohan's going to be able to win? Or do you think there's going to be some catalyst?
I still don't know if Gohan's going to win, but I was like waiting for a catalyst because I've always been thinking Gohan needs like a push to like become.
Mm-hmm. That's always how it's been as we get into in this episode.
I don't know. Is it this episode?
It is.
No, it's the next one. I think it's the next one. Whenever Cell's like, I'm gonna get it out of you, and he starts targeting friends.
Oh, it's the end of this one. Yeah.
Oh, okay. Yeah, that's kind of what I thought was like where this was heading. Was like, it didn't head where I thought we were heading, but I figured Cell was gonna like kill one of the Z fighters, and that would be enough. Because he's at the end of this episode, he's like, how many are there? 7 of you. I'm gonna target one, and I'm like, okay, this is gonna be. He's going to kill Yamcha. Gohan's going to be like, that's not really going to do it. And then he's going to kill Krillin.
He was a family friend, but I didn't really know him that well.
He's that uncle that we don't really like too much. And then, but it goes to a place I did not know we were going.
Oh, it goes beyond what we thought. So at this point you're thinking like a fodder is going to die basically.
Yeah.
And could like, be the
still looking for a catalyst.
Yeah. So
it starts with Chi-Chi. She's very upset. For the first time in the show, I actually truly empathize.
I actually felt
Chi-Chi,
it.
Because she's losing her mind.
Yeah.
Rightfully so, because her husband, who she loves, just put their son's life on the line. She's not keyed into any of this. She doesn't have a read on power levels. She doesn't truly know what happened in the hyperbolic time chamber.
She doesn't know nothing.
She doesn't know how strong her son is, how strong Goku. I mean, she knows Goku's strong, but no real like comparison. This like poor lady or woman, whatever, is just like, I'm going to watch my son die on television. The entire world is going to see it now because of this one reporter's scoop, which isn't really how scoops work. But, I was like, okay, I empathize with her. She was going to break the TV, and I was like, well, don't do that. But,
yeah, I actually empathized with her, too. It's actually, they sell it. And Gohan gets knocked into these rocks, like, really hard after a beatdown. And everyone's like, wow, he's freaking dead. And Piccolo freaking loses his mind. Yeah. He's yelling at Goku. He's like, congrats. Like,
it's next episode, actually.
This is where they think he's dead, though. He's like, he's dead.
Oh, yeah,
he's dead. Congratulations or whatever. And then Goku's like, relax. Like, no, he's not. Can't you? Like, nobody's focusing on the situation. Like, can't you feel his power still? And he really doesn't even look like he seems annoyed with the situation, but he doesn't look all that hurt.
Goku is smiling often when we cut back to
when him. It's like Gohan's getting the shit beaten out of him, and he's just like
his neck is being
smiling.
held and Cell's just and Goku is just doing his little like shit-eating grin.
Oh, there's definitely memes out there.
Really? Yeah.
This is where the bad dad thing like really comes to a head.
Yeah.
Where it's like, should you have sent your 12-year-old son in to save the world regardless of how strong he may or may not be?
Well,
good question.
I think it's fine if the entire world's livelihood is on the line.
Mm-hmm.
If Goku truly could not, that's another question. Could is Goku being honest, or I would like to see the what if episode where Goku keeps fighting,
where he gets pushed to the edge. I think that he wouldn't win. Like I really do believe all these characters on their analysis. When he gets pushed to that limit breaking point, we don't know what may have happened. But that would have been cool to see for sure. We get a remix of the original Super Saiyan theme, or maybe not a remix, maybe it's just straight up the same one, but whenever Gohan's walking out of the rock, from the same theme that plays when Goku first turned to Super Saiyan.
Yeah.
And this is where we get the speech from Gohan, one of my favorite moments in the series, like thus far, where he begins to tell Cell, like, he really has no desire to fight him. He doesn't want to fight him. He doesn't want to kill him.
He knows, because he knows, like, if I fight you, I'm going to have to kill you.
Yeah.
Like, he's like his dad. He doesn't like to kill.
Right. So he doesn't even like to fight.
Yeah.
Like, Goku at least likes to fight, but Gohan doesn't. Yeah.
He's a lover.
Exactly. So he basically tells him, like, at the drop of a pin, like, you say the word and it's over. Like, we're good.
Yeah.
Everything's fine. We don't have to do this.
Yeah, he's trying to appeal to Cell's non-existent like ethos.
Yeah, very non-existent.
Like no emotions.
Which even 16 later on says that more or less.
Yeah.
So we get the flashbacks, which flashbacks are a 50-50 for me on whether or not they hit or whether or not they feel like they're wasting my time, and these ones all hit for me.
Yeah, these ones all worked for me. They went the extra step and added like some his speech is playing over it, so it's voiceover. A lot of times,
and the speech
we just get
was
flashbacks,
amazing,
and it's just flashbacks, like nothing adding. Really, they're just like,
Yeah.
oh, we didn't have time to animate, so here you go. But this was like story important.
Well, yeah, the monologue combined with the music combined with the flashbacks really, really helps deliver what happens in the next episode. Like a lot. It is a really
Agreed.
I was gonna call it a crutch. It's not even really a crutch. It's just a really important resource. So Cell realizes, like, after the speech and after the, hey, like, every time I'm pushed to my limit, like, I find this hidden power that, or anger that multiplies my power by however much, and I'm so much stronger, and I get myself out of the situation.
He's talking about how he doesn't really have control over it necessarily, and, like, it's not a sustained power. They for throughout the rest of these episodes, they're going to talk about, like, it being an explosion more so than, like, something controlled. Yeah, and I think Gohan has like a lot of fear about what that. I imagine Gohan probably feels like it might even be like a blackout scenario where like,
for sure.
He like goes to this level and he doesn't, and then something happens and then he comes back to and he's like, what happened? And then, if you're someone who doesn't want to fight or kill, that can be really scary.
In those moments, it definitely does affect his character significantly, and we might even be seeing the consequences of that soon.
Yeah.
So yeah, and basically the reason he's explaining all this is like, this is my dad's plan. This is why he knew I was capable of these things, and we don't know for sure, but there may have been even something in the hyperbolic time chamber that confirmed Goku's beliefs, which is why when they come out, Goku's like, I got a plan.
Yeah.
And he's not stressed. He knows that Gohan will be able to pull from this pool and use it against Cell. So yeah, Cell is amused by the story, and he says, well, now I have something to work towards.
Yeah, now Cell's like, okay, then we're gonna get that out of you.
Yeah, in hindsight, very poor decision on Gohan's end to explain that.
Most monologues are in the middle of a fight,
but you know what I mean.
They're sick.
It's
Yeah,
it was sick. I gave it a 7 out of 7, baby.
I actually gave it a 5 out of 7, but I don't know why. I guess it didn't. What was the beginning of the episode? The episode wasn't all flashbacks, was it?
Mm-mm.
I don't know.
It's like when he's knocked into the rocks and all the Z fighters on the sidelines are like, oh my god, he's dead, it's over. And then he comes out, and then I believe there is some more fighting right there, and then it goes into his speech after that. Well, and the flashback and the speech and so on, that takes up about half the episode.
Maybe now, I think maybe looking back on it now, it's a better episode for me, because at the moment I didn't necessarily know where the flashbacks were heading. But now I'm like, these flashbacks are so sick because...
Totally, and I knew that payoff was coming next episode. I was like, dude, this is so sick, because I know at the end of next episode, like, this thing is happening, and like, this is the culmination of everything. For all the faults that Akira Toriyama has when it comes to storytelling over a long period of time, this is something that he knew he was building towards from the beginning of the series, to the point where, like, this is the shift. The narrator even says it, basically, like we've been
building for this for 11 years.
The prodigal son has surpassed the father.
Yeah.
So it's like it's a very, very significant payoff, and many people consider this singular moment one of the best in the series, if not the best in the series.
Yeah, this whole like little section, this little quadruplet of episodes, very, very, very good.
Oh, for sure. So yeah, I gave it a 7, but truthfully, like, I gave a couple 7s, and they're all different levels. I'm going to be honest. Like, this is the lowest of the 3 7s that I gave.
Yeah.
But spoiler alert, my next 2 episodes are also 7s, and they are higher. And if I could give like an 8 or a 9 out of 7, I would. Alrighty, folks. We are on Android Explosion. Spoiler alert, but not in the way that you might think. We start off the episode and Cell is using Frieza's death beam to try and kill Gohan. And everyone's like, watch out, that's Frieza's move. And we get the quickest flashback to Vegeta getting shot through the heart. Just to disrespect Vegeta a little more, as if he hasn't had enough to do in this arc. It's like Vegeta fans are like probably crying right now. Yeah. Who's your favorite? Who would you say is your favorite character at this point in the show for us?
Still Gohan.
Yeah.
He's
everyone's favorite at this point in the show.
Through all of this.
So next episode must have been basically your favorite ever, because Gohan fans are eaten in
next
this arc.
2 episodes.
Obviously, yeah, no kidding.
One might say,
Yeah, one might. So we get a bear hug from Cell. He's like, well, I'm just going to crush all your bones then.
Yeah.
If
Well,
you're
before
not gonna...
that, even right before that, we get some super cool art.
Oh, what's that?
Animation and some fun fight choreo. I don't know. They're doing something they've not done before. Like
these next couple episodes look amazing.
They're like darting back and forth, but it's like a flat image and it shows them like coming across like kind of sideways. It's really cool looking. Very, very cool art. And they're doing like some different moves. Just like standard fight choreo, but it's like different than what we're used to.
Oh, for sure.
The
like
usual, just like punches and kicks.
Gohan has his own unique style. Like it very much stands out from Goku's. Especially, I mean, he's younger, so he's like smaller and stuff too.
Yeah.
No, the art and the animation in these next couple episodes, especially next episode, is basically unparalleled up to this point in the series. More to come.
I love how you're always so cautious. You like anytime you say like this is the best or this was the best music, best scene, but up until this point in the series.
Dude, I'll tell you one thing. There is an episode that has a fight that only lasts that episode.
Yeah.
In the future, and it is my favorite fight in the series, and it's the best looking fight in the series.
Well, don't tell me. I wanna guess it.
Oh, you'll know
on camera. Okay.
There's no question. You'll be like, oh, that's it.
Okay. Sick.
I think anyway. So yeah, we get the bear hug from Cell. He's hugging Gohan. He's crushing his bones, but not quite yet.
He's telling him, he's like, I can feel your bones starting to crack. You should do something. And Gohan's like, dude, I want to. Don't know what to do. Like, I don't have the power or the control you think I do.
Right, exactly. He can't just be like, okay.
Yeah, and this is when we get the, in my opinion, iconic Full Dad Piccolo moment.
I love it. Go ahead and give it to us in
Piccolo
full detail.
is watching this happen. They all are. They're all pretty horrified. Goku is not as horrified as one might think a father should be in this situation. Again, Goku has other notions going on. He knows what's happening. Piccolo like freaks out. Piccolo is talking to Goku and he's like, what are you doing? Why are you doing this? Get involved right now. This is your chance. Take a Senzu bean. Go out there. And Goku's like, no.
Even Piccolo himself says he's going to go help.
Yeah. And Goku, he's like, I'm going to die, but I'm going to go do it. And Goku's like, no, don't do this. And then Piccolo like hulks up just a touch and like starts like screaming at Goku, telling him that like, you sent your son out to die and now you're going to watch him die and we're all going to have to watch him die and you're not even going to do anything about it. I know I'm going to die if I go out there, but somebody has to do anything. And he's like literally taking off his little cape shoulder pads thing, about to go do it. And yeah, he's basically just doing what a dad would do in this situation, which is put your son, Goku, or Gohan in this instance, before anything else in your own life. Like Piccolo's ready to go die, and probably pretty quickly, if it means Gohan can get out of the bear hug. It's pretty great.
Yeah, and the most crucial thing that he said, all that stuff he's more or less already said, like the most crucial thing he said is like, you're not realizing something.
Right. Yeah.
Like he's not like you. He doesn't like to fight. He doesn't have a thirst for blood or a thirst for challenges and fights like you do. Like he's a kid and he's not thinking right now, like, how do I get my power? He's thinking, why am I dying and my dad's not helping me? And that Goku actually caused Goku to like have a freaking full-on revelation.
Yeah.
Like we watched the revelation hit like hard.
Horrified.
Yeah. Because he hadn't even considered that. He and I don't think that makes him a bad dad. Like I think it's like a...
No, I don't think so at all.
I think it's a fault. I think he realizes it was a mistake. But at that point, he's like, give me a senzu bean, I'm going to go in.
Yeah.
And it's too late.
Goku's intentions are fine throughout all this.
Yeah. And
he's trying to save the world. He knows Gohan's got the power to do it.
And the powder.
Senzu powder.
Senzu powder. Grind them up and snort them.
Yeah. He's just not necessarily... I think Goku's biggest fault throughout all this is he's not keying in the rest of the crew. So they are all watching Gohan die. They are all watching... Like, Goku has said Gohan can beat him. And they're like, no. And Goku's like, just watch. And that has to be pretty frustrating, especially as for dad number 2 being Piccolo. Like, Piccolo might know that Gohan is strong as Goku thinks he is, but, like, as Piccolo pointed out, like, you can't put all this on your son. He's not a fighter at all. Like, that's not what he does.
Yeah, he's just a kid.
He's not you. And,
yeah.
He's not a pure blood Saiyan. Like, he's not, like Vegeta and Goku just always going after the fight. And I think that's when Goku realizes he might have made a hasty decision. I still think it's a right decision to make. If you truly believe that's how you're going to save the world, then so be it. But... Mm-hmm. You know what? Communication. If everyone just talk a little bit.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and it's one of my favorite Piccolo moments, man. I love just being able to watch. It's so satisfying, like watching a character realize they were wrong.
Yeah.
Like, he wasn't wrong in a moral sense, but he was wrong it was maybe not the right decision, or maybe they could have helped him or so on. Like, I really love that moment for sure. Like, it's definitely like where a lot of the Piccolo dad memes come from also. But Piccolo really truly is like more of an older brother or like a best friend to Gohan. Like, he does care about him a lot.
Yeah. And so he's holding him, and I feel like I got my notes mixed up, but it's not possible because obviously I'm writing chronologically. At what point Cell target, this is where Cell is like, I see your friends over there. Like, it looks like I'm gonna have to take one of them out or something.
That's about when he says this. Yeah, he's like, okay, so hurting you isn't working. I'm gonna have to hurt your friends. And Gohan's like, no, don't do it. And so he tries to get up, and he gets kicked down, and
like kicked away like far.
Yeah,
like, sliding on the ground. And
this is actually where 16 jumps in.
Well, Piccolo or Cell flies up to the friends to do something, and then Piccolo like darts at him, misses.
Oh yeah.
But like, this is like, Piccolo, he reached his limit and he went for it.
Yeah.
Still, Goku did not. Which, that's the dichotomy between what Piccolo and Goku are going through right now. And then, basically Piccolo's Cell's back on the ground, and 16 gives him the old bear hug. Mm-hmm. And 16, or Cell is such a bitch. He's like, what are you doing, 16? That's not fair. Stop. And it's like, dude, you were about to go kill...
He's in full panic mode immediately.
Yeah, you were about to go kill one of your friends, or one of Gohan's friends just to win, and now you're upset that someone else is getting involved.
Oh, he's for sure like... As
think
cocky
he knows about
and
the bomb?
Intelligent and wise as he... do I think Cell knows about the bomb?
Yeah, like, why
There's
is he
a good
panicking
chance.
so much?
Well, because 16 says, I'm going to blow you up.
Fair enough.
Yeah, I mean, he might actually know about it because he's a fellow creation of Gero.
Yeah.
But 16's going for the self-destruct. But yeah, Cell's character is like one of my favorites in the series actually. Mm-hmm. Like his lines are amazing. That kind of goes without saying. But like his character like alone, like when he has the upper hand, he's so cocky and full of himself, and he'll talk down to everyone. But the minute he thinks that he is in trouble, he like goes into full panic mode.
Yeah.
Like with the instant transmission Kamehameha. Now with this self-destruct, and we even see a moment of panic at the end of next episode when Gohan undergoes his transformation.
Yeah.
So 16 decides like, you know what, I have a freaking nucre warhead inside me apparently, or so Bulma says, and I'm going to self-destruct, and there's no chance.
Yeah, he's talking about how one, he apologizes to the Z fighters, and he's like, I'm sorry that the androids have caused all this, like,
which is an awesome character moment.
Yeah, and he's like, Dr. Gero created us, and it's going to be his own devices that take them out. And so then he starts.
Were you sold on the self-destruct?
Yeah, I was.
Yeah.
I didn't even know that was like a system or a function within them. I guess maybe if I thought harder about it, I didn't, but I was just all in on the moment. I was like, this is going to be sick. Mm-hmm. But it was another moment where I was like, this is not how Cell's going to go down. Like, this isn't the end. I honestly thought it was going to be an explosion that didn't work. And then 16 like blew himself up for not. Mm-hmm. And maybe that would have kickstarted Gohan. But what happens instead is he lights up like he's about to explode, and then we got to cut to Mr. Satan and see what they're all doing.
They're all like, whoa!
Yeah, they're all freaking out, and then it doesn't happen, and then they start to peek up and look, and it turns out you see the white flash of him go down, and he's back to normal, and he's like, what the hell? And Krillin, we cut to Krillin right whenever 16 starts talking about exploding. Krillin knows.
Yeah, Krillin's
like, shit.
He doesn't even have the time to say, like, that ain't gonna work, brah.
Yep. And so we cut to Krillin, and there's this really cool shot. It's like coming up the cliff, and like goes like, it's very dramatic, like onto Krillin's face. And then Krillin's like, yeah, so that's not gonna work because Bulma took it out. And then we get a little flashback of that happening, nothing important. And Roshi asks Bulma, like, did you do that? And she's like, yep. And then 16, a little panic in his eyes. He's like, shit, this is not good. And Cell immediately is like you mentioned, from panic to back in power mode.
Yep.
And he like punches him away and then shoots a blast right through him. And it's like a blast that explodes 16. All his pieces are scattered. He's not really pieces. It's just bolts and stuff. But his head is intact, and it lands in front of Mr. Satan and the crew. They do not like the head. They're freaked out by it.
I don't like how they played that off as a joke. It's actually like a...
Yeah, I don't like it either. Because
the death, or the supposed death, we should say, I guess, like turns him into a martyr, and even Cell is like, anyone else want to be a martyr for no reason?
Yeah. And then Mr. Satan's like,
whoa, it's a head!
Yeah.
Did you think 16 was dead?
Yeah. Mm-hmm. I was like, I don't understand.
Did you care?
Yeah. No, yeah,
me too.
I was like, I like 16.
Yeah, me too. I like 16 a lot, actually.
I still want him and Goku to fight. I know they're friends now, but I would like them to fight just to see.
I wouldn't even say friends. I think he just tolerates Goku's presence.
Yeah.
Like when they met, he was just like...
Well, they took out his like not so great stuff, right?
No, it's all his decision. Everything. They didn't
No,
take out anything except the bomb.
I thought they found Goku inside of I thought they found Goku programming in him.
No,
no. The flashbacks and stuff.
No, the only thing they did was fix him and remove the bomb. They said he might still use this for Goku. We don't know, so let's just take it out. The bomb.
I was thinking of
No, they did not change his programming at all, which is why it's an even bigger deal that he made all these decisions on his own right.
Which we will get to in the next episode.
Yeah, no, that's all him.
Yeah, so now Cell is like, okay, so I'm just gonna have to keep getting this out of you, Gohan. Let me just and then poop out some baby cells.
A little graphic, but really cool.
Yeah, that is a little weird. I was like, I don't know what's going on at all. And he's like moaning for 30 seconds before it cuts to his tail.
It's definitely convenient that he can create very, very strong miniatures of himself, but
without lowering his own power levels.
Hey, we don't have to question it. We just have to realize that it's cool.
Yes. So yeah, he shoots out 7 little blue cells, nice little color palette swap. Smash Bros. We pressed a trigger and now we got the blue cells.
You asked me if Cell Juniors were in Fighters. They're not, but Cell does have a blue palette swap.
Oh, really? Dang, he doesn't even have an ultimate where he shoots them out of his body.
No, I don't think he does. I haven't played much Cell, and not a lot of people, in my experience, play him from what little I play. I mean, I played a lot, but I didn't play a lot compared to, people who played a lot. Yeah. Anyway, no, I don't think they have a presence.
But yeah, so that's kind of where the episode's ends, is the baby cells are out. They're going to fly towards... There's 7 of them, and Cell's, 6 of them on them, basically.
Okay.
Go after them. Yeah,
so the seven ones are out. What do you think, at this point, you're like... Okay, so someone is going to get killed by the Cell Juniors.
I was a little sad at first because I was like, this could be cool, or this could be an extra 3 episodes.
Oh, totally.
To pad out the season.
Totally, and I understand that. But what ended up coming of this was possibly the best choreographed and most well-directed and well-animated action sequence we've had basically ever.
And a really good show.
The Cell Juniors versus for sure. And the Cell Juniors versus the Z Fighters is amazing.
Yeah.
How well animated and how brutal it is. It's freaking awesome.
Yeah, they have a really important purpose. That
a very important purpose. Yeah.
But that's where the episode ends. There's a really cool key art at the end of the episode, and it's Cell overlooking the entire cliff of the Z Fighters, and all the little dudes are flying at him. It's purple too.
Cell's freaking character and design is
perfect. Yeah, it's cool.
It's
and his voice actor,
perfect villain.
Or actor is the best.
The best
so far.
The best.
Yeah.
Compare this to Frieza's voice actor.
We cut to Frieza in the flashbacks, and it's
Grandma.
Which one is it? It's
second form.
It's such a bad. It's almost as bad as the first voice, but it's still a bad voice.
We're not done with the Cell arc yet, but if you ranked it versus the Frieza arc,
oh yeah, Frieza's my least favorite still.
Versus Saiyan, Android, Frieza, and
Cell.
I
forgot about Android. Yeah, Frieza's still probably my least favorite.
I think if we watched Kai, you would change your ranking.
Yeah, that's the problem with Frieza. The Frieza arc is that it has probably the most filler.
Oh, for sure.
If you don't count Snake Way, I guess, and it's the most annoying filler. Yeah. So right now it would probably be
Bulma versus Mrs. Crab. I'm glad we're past that point, dude. That shit was rough for a while.
It really was. That's probably subconsciously why we weren't so great at uploading, is because we're just neither of us are
it's great, we get to film a double. And great, 5 out of 6 are filler, and it's dog shit.
Actually happened. That did happen one time of our doubles. Was mostly
Garlic
filler.
Jr.?
Probably. Well, we watched all of Garlic Jr. for 1 episode.
We watched 7 episodes of Garlic Jr. There's 10 episodes of Garlic Jr. We watched the first 3, and the next time I was like, dude, can we please just get this out of the way?
And we did. It was like a 20-minute.
It feels
episode.
like a fever dream because we watched it at 1.5 times speed.
Yeah.
And it was terrible.
It was.
Yeah.
But worth it.
7 out of 7.
I give this one a 6 out of 7. But we're getting some 7s here soon from you.
Oh, I'm sure we are. Let's take a quick break to take a word from our sponsors. Just kidding. But if you want to sponsor us, let us know.
Hit that refresh. You know what time it is.
Yeah, refresh. If you're a real fan, drop in the comments, refresh in parentheses F5 times 10.
Yeah, and then
to tell people, to tell new viewers.
Did we get any comments last week?
Got a couple. One called us gorgeous.
Okay, so you missed the assignment. You completely.
Let's lick.
You were supposed to call us ugly AF. We know we're gorgeous already. Come on now, we don't need that.
One, which is my brother, hey Ryan, says, "Bro, Wesley is handsome AF."
Oh dang!
And then we get
slighted you.
We get from William Atterbury. Thank you for writing in, William. I'm going to start watching every Sunday. Listen to your podcast all week. You're the best. Thank you so much. And then he says, "Also, you're both cute AF." Well, here's the thing, William. We're glad you're a fan now. But if you were a real fan, you would have said we are ugly AF. So
Because we know we're cute. We know we're gorgeous. Ryan, I know I'm handsome, but you know what we don't know? We don't know if we're ugly AF. So we need you to tell us.
William also said that you were going to predict that Cell will fake die, such as with the instant Kamehameha, like we thought he was dead, so to speak. Come back and kill Krillin with a Destructo Disc, making Goku angry, and then Goku achieves some new form and beats Cell. So he thought that's what you were going to predict, which isn't
that's
too
in line with
far
what
from,
I've been thinking so far.
We love the predictions. We love the comments. Keep on dropping them, folks. You are our kings and queens.
Yeah.
We were the kings and queens of...
That was like such a disharmony, or I don't even know the word.
Clash. It's called a clash.
Yeah, that was so... Oh,
Jared Leto, I know you're watching. Sponsor us, bro. Sponsor us.
Give me your best Joker Jared Leto real quick.
Okay. I'm not going to kill you. I was ready. I'm just going to make you hurt really, really bad.
I'm just going to make you hurt.
What? I'm just going to hurt you.
Really
bad. Hunka.
Jesus.
Boy. So Gohan. So
episode 184, Cell Jr.'s attack.
Preface. This is my favorite episode of Dragon Ball Z that we've watched up to this point.
It could be mine.
No, this is like mine by a lot.
I would need to go through and look what my other favorites are, but this is up there for sure.
Between Goku going Super Saiyan for the first time in this episode, like this one even beats that.
That's a possibility. Goku is what I immediately went to, was that.
Yeah.
And then also the episode we watched a few weeks ago, where Gohan is in the western town.
Yeah, and he saves Lime, or whatever her name was.
And Sprite remix.
So the Cell Juniors are flying towards our fighters. Immediately, this episode looks incredible.
Yeah.
Immediately. And Vegeta freaking is the first one to get hit by them, and he blocks it, and he's like, what
He goes to hit, and the dude's like, whoa, nope. And that's like, so immediately we're establishing the power of these guys.
And they're
good
freaking
reason.
strong as shit.
Yeah, they're literally just cells, but miniature, which is very funny. Yeah.
If I remember correctly, they're as each Cell Junior, I remember reading this somewhere or something. Each Cell Junior is as strong as like base level Super Saiyan Goku.
I believe it. I mean, no one had a chance against them, like really.
Yeah, like Vegeta held his own, Trunks held his own, Goku would have held his own, but everyone else was like getting demolished.
Yeah, I kept like these people kept making. I was trying to come up with some cool question to ask you at the beginning because I saw them and I you know those questions that are like, would you rather fight a horse or like 10 duck-sized horses? I was like, would you rather fight like a Cell or like
or seven Cell Juniors
and stuff? But yeah. So we immediately get established that these are very, very strong. I put my first note is, these Cell Juniors are like strong.
Yeah, like I love that immediate shock on Vegeta's face and the rest of everyone's face. Like, holy crap! Like we're dealing with, even Goku's like, everyone get your guard up because this is not a joke. Like,
yeah. And Goku actually does like, arguably the worst.
Yeah,
not the worst, but
he only does better than Yamcha and Krillin.
Yeah, he's bottom tier.
Yeah,
he's getting his ass whooped.
Trunks and Vegeta are fine. But everyone else, like, they get a hurting.
Somebody, where am I? I can't remember where I'm thinking of, but somebody mentions that, like, Trunks and Vegeta are the only ones that really have a shot.
Cell?
Okay,
Cell, yeah.
So basically, this is just a montage of the entire team getting their asses beat.
And in between all of this, Gohan's like, no, he's like crying. He's like, please stop hurting my friends.
Got blood on his face.
If they die, like, I can't bring most of these people back.
Yep. It's starting to get to him, but it's not quite there yet. And
Piccolo the GOAT, dude, he held his own and was helping others at the same time.
Yeah. And meanwhile, Goku, I mean, he needs a senzu bean, really.
He's hurt.
He's trying to get one. Oh, we forgot to mention that. Before this happens,
oh, true.
Goku's like, give me a senzu, because Goku's like, okay, I'm gonna get involved in the fight. Like, you're right, Piccolo. Give me a senzu bean, I'll get in.
That's when Cell, that last episode, when Cell goes up and Piccolo tries to attack him and stuff, he grabs the senzu beans, then goes back down to Gohan, and then 16 Bear hugs him.
Yeah, and Goku's like, shit, I'm too late. I should have grabbed a senzu bean because now I'm screwed. Flash forward to this, that he's getting work. He's getting like, there's one, and it's like the animation is just the Cell Jr. just going back and forth, and Goku is just like, pff.
Oh, dude.
Like, he's not even putting up a fight.
No, he's like barely hanging on.
The difference between him and Yamcha is that Yamcha's already given up and is on the ground.
And Yamcha gets a nasty arm break, like on par with Vegeta's arm break.
Yeah, and probably like all his ribs broken too.
The freaking Cell Jr. catches his hand and drops an elbow in the middle of his arm, and then Yamcha just starts screaming and his arm is dangling.
Yeah.
Krillin arguably gets his back broken.
Yeah.
Because the Cell Jr. drops a knee into his spine hard.
Tien falls off the cliff and lands like
on his neck.
Does like a scorpion.
Yeah.
While we were watching this, when the Cell Juniors went to attack, I was like, just out loud, I was like, rest in peace, Yamcha. Because, like,
oh, for sure.
Dunzo. Poor guy.
He could have easily died in that moment.
Yeah.
Yeah, so Piccolo's like, guys, we need to cover Goku. He's got, like, nothing left. Yeah, like I said, Krillin gets his back hit. Yamcha gets his arm broken. Goku, this moment actually kind of got me. He's like, I'm sorry, guys. Like, I didn't know this could happen. Like, I had no clue this is what was going to happen. And he apologizes to them because he realizes this is heavily influenced by his decisions. If not, you could just say it's his fault.
I don't blame the guy, though. Like, who would have thought that Cell is going to drop 7 little nuggets out?
But that's the thing. Like, you can't give them the opportunity, like, when they're back into a corner
that's
like
the moral of the show. Is like, stop. Who cares? The Saiyans... the Saiyans, like, their desire to fight fairly and at top, I don't even know the word I'm looking for, is such a problem for this group of friends. Like, if Vegeta and Goku would just get over their desire to have every fight be fair and at top notch, like, things would be better.
Imagine right now Vegeta, Goku, and Piccolo triple team Cell.
Yeah,
I don't think there would be a way for him to win.
No, that's what exactly. But they're like, honor. Like, we can't.
And Trunks.
Yeah, we can't fight them. Trunks is probably the
Trunks
one that's
wants
like,
to.
Yeah,
he's
Trunks
like, guys, what are we doing?
Yeah, he's like, I'm about to go grab my sword and we're just gonna end this now.
Yeah,
like,
right.
We don't need to keep doing this.
Yeah.
But yeah, so Z Fighters are getting worked. We cut back to Mr. Satan and them, of course, and I was like, dang it. But
this one was actually
good.
Satisfying.
They're all talking. They're like gonna leave. Mr. Satan's gonna finally go to a doctor. Mind you, we are still getting all the stomach jokes.
Yeah.
Which basically boils down to Mr. Satan being like, oh yeah, blah blah blah, I could fight, and then the reporter being like, wait, I thought your stomach. He's like, oh yeah, you're right, my stomach, blah blah blah. He's about to go to the doctor, and then they hear a voice, and I didn't even recognize the voice. It was like different a little bit.
It was just quiet,
possibly on purpose. Yeah, and they're like, was that you? Was that you? Was that you? Blah blah blah. Who was it? And then they're like, was it the head? And it was. And it's 16 telling Mr. Satan, like, please bring me over to the Z Fighters. And he's like, dude, my stomach hurts. No way. Can't do that. And 16's like, you got to do it. Just bring me over there. You can throw me when you get close.
I love the line, like, you're the champion, aren't you?
Yeah.
Like, aren't you the world champ?
And
he's got, like, that smile on his face.
Yeah.
And he realized, like, this is my actual... Like, he knows none of this is actually fake. Like, he's bullshitting the other people.
Yeah.
And to me, this is his moment of, like... I actually can help with this situation, like, on a legitimate level. And, like, he actually pulls a move that is, like, a world champ level move.
Yeah.
Like, in my opinion, this is his redemption.
Mr. Satan?
Yeah.
Yeah. He does the I don't even know. It reminded me of, like, a World War I or II movie.
Yeah.
Where he's, like, running through the trenches.
Yeah.
He's just got to bring, like, the package over.
And there's blasts exploding everywhere. This is like 1917.
Yeah,
movie, at the very end.
Yeah, and he's, like, freaking out. He's like, I can't do this. I'm terrified. And 16's like, you're almost there.
Yeah.
Just throw me. So he throws him, and he shoots it, which just works out perfectly because the head lands right in between Cell and Gohan, and the head is facing Gohan. And I'll let you explain the 16
a freaking
monologue.
Incredible. It's iconic, dude. This is beyond iconic here. Everyone already knows that's listening to this, but 16's there, Gohan's there. The chaos of the Cell Jr. fight is happening in the background, more or less. Cell is nearby. And basically, Android 16 explains to Gohan, like, it's okay to let go. Me and you are so alike in that we both like peace, and I've grown to love the animals of this world, and, like, we don't want to fight.
Birds.
Yeah, the bird. I like the birds. So there was a payoff even to all these bird things. Yeah, no,
like
that's
a big payoff.
That was a huge part of his character for a reason. They're very similar, gentle-natured people. So he's like, but it's okay to... There are some people that words alone will not reach. Yeah, he says it's not a sin to fight to protect the world. You have to let it happen. Yeah. Because... the implication here being that Gohan was holding it back, like, just unconsciously, subconsciously, because, like, he didn't want to hurt anyone and so on. And yeah, so this really resonates with Gohan. And as soon as he's done talking, Cell's like, ugh. And he walks over. Yeah. And he crushes 16's head. We see his light go out. Oh, for sure.
He's like, I just love that this very emotional, like, awesome monologue happens. Like, Gohan and 16 are in the moment, and Cell is just like, ugh. And then
like,
walks
gross.
over and just steps on him. Doesn't even care.
And he says to Gohan, yet another fighter you could have saved.
Yeah.
And that just, like, we see Gohan, we get a little more internal monologue. He's like, 16 was like me. Like, he just wanted to protect this world. He loved the world. Yep. He was a peaceful person. Like, You see the bird flying across Gohan's face.
Very cool.
And then all of a sudden we get this perfect imagery of him just snapping. And it's that red line cutting through, and he freaking snaps and lets it all go.
If you want to like watch that, that's probably what played at the beginning of our episode whenever we cut to the
it
music.
is 100% what played at the beginning of our episode.
The clip that we play. So go watch that if you're like, what are they talking about?
Yeah.
But it's sick. Yeah, it's a black background.
They know what we're talking about.
Yeah. Fair enough. In case anyone's out there, a Dragon Ball Z virgin like me.
Yep.
Yeah, the red, it's like a sword cut, very Smash Bros reminiscent.
I love the iconography here. Yeah, like just it's so. And then go ahead.
And then we get the it's like I'm trying to remember the sequence of events or the sequence of shots because I remember like every shot.
It's immediately cuts to above and the rocks crush beneath him and the
like
wind
a big
and
crush
he's
of rocks,
screaming.
not like a usual like feet digging into the ground like. Might as well have been like a miniature earthquake under Gohan.
It's similar to when Goku first turned Super Saiyan. You can immediately sense that like something here is different. Like this is not the usual power up.
Yeah, and we get some in between while this is happening. We cut to Cell. Cell's going back and forth. He's like shit, and then he puts a smile on. He's like, finally it's time. But then also he goes back to like shit.
I think he realized in that exact moment he was like. Like kind of like a what have I done?
Yeah, he's like, a little stronger than I thought. Let's tone it down.
Yikes, a little too much strength. A little too much strength. So he even says like he accuses Gohan of doing what Trunks was doing, which is raising your power without raising your speed. But we soon find out that Gohan has achieved something here. This is keep going. I got it. This is a whole thing I got to break down.
So are they fighting the Cell Juniors yet, or is that the next episode? He does fight one, right?
No, this episode ends with the transformation.
That's
and
right.
so you see his hair is different. Do you know that this is like something else different? It just shows it for a quick second.
I knew this was like the next level. Like
there's no way not to know.
I even thought, I don't know what it is, but I thought it was like more than what Vegeta and Trunks and everybody else were doing.
So that's the full breakdown here. Like this is what they were trying to achieve with the grades or whatever you want to call them. People call them grades. Like so they were becoming more powerful, but they were sacrificing speed. But they still all had this instinct that there was like another level that they could achieve.
Yeah.
So yeah, these grades, so to speak, were all the means to the end. They were going about it the wrong way, and it turns out the one that had this capability all along was Gohan. This is what they all knew existed, but none of them could achieve except for him.
The speed and the strength.
Yeah, this is finally the level beyond Super Saiyan. This is, and they haven't called it this yet, but this is colloquially Super Saiyan 2. Gohan is Super Saiyan 2. That's what it's called.
Super Saiyan 1 is just what they were before?
Yep, there's Super Saiyan, and now there's Super Saiyan 2.
Sick.
Yep.
Very cool.
And it is imagine like the difference between Goku and Super Saiyan Goku in Namek. This is, theoretically speaking, just from a narrative point of view, not necessarily power level wise or whatever, but this is the same this is the same jump.
Okay, yeah.
Like this
Makes
is the
sense.
same kind of leap. Yeah, it's another
Twice
transformation.
as powerful,
Exactly. It's another transformation. So, yeah, he is a Super Saiyan 2 now.
Oh, I don't know if it's Gohan's theme. I don't know what it is, but the music that they introduced here is so sick.
It's I think it's called Gohan's Anger.
It's so
and
good.
Everyone would immediately recognize it if they listen to the Falconer, but it's the dun 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 dun, and it plays and what's awesome about that, dude, it's so good. Like they barely teased us with it a few times earlier in the episodes, like when Gohan got angry and the Cell Junior, and you saw his hair start to move, and it would play that theme a little bit, and then it would cut back to whatever's going on. So you knew it was coming.
Yeah.
It was coming, whether it was 16's death or whether Krillin would have ended up getting killed or even Goku or Piccolo or whatever. It was going to happen. Like he was almost there.
Yeah.
It really is like edging.
Yeah, it might be my new favorite theme. Cell's is probably really close though. They're both cool.
It is.
Cell's is my favorite villain, and then this Gohan song is my favorite of the.
Between Super Saiyan Vegeta's theme and Gohan's, I think Gohan's wins actually.
Yeah.
So yeah, amazing. A 7 out of 7. It's beyond 7 out of 7. This, in my opinion, is the best episode of Dragon Ball Z we've watched. It's just this is why people love this series so much. It has its lows and it has its narrative faults and it has issues, but you cannot beat that. Like you can't beat that. There's nothing like
184 episodes.
184 episodes of culmination, like in this character that we love and that we've seen go through, for better or for worse, like so much.
Yeah.
And we have so much context for this character. Like Like even in a show like My Hero, which I love, like and when Deku has a moment like this, it's in like episode 16. You know what I mean? Like and it resonates and it's amazing and it's well written, and don't get me wrong, like it's great, but like
even in the 4th season or whatever, or 5th season, like you're still looking back at what is maybe 2 or 3 years total, where like this is like in the show 11, 12 years of build up. Like when they're cutting back to the first episodes, it's not 12 years. It's
yeah,
like,
I know
it's
what
like
you mean.
3 or 4.
Yeah.
They're like cutting back to like some of the very first episodes we saw, and like to be able to go back and draw upon like episode 10.
Exactly.
Now that we're in 184 is like,
and like you see Gohan slowly getting bigger and older throughout. Like we've been with this. It feels like we have grown up with this character that is now in this situation of such dire survival that he has to go to this point, and we don't know what he's going to do now. He's always been like, whenever he gets angry like this or whatever, it's like a whole different character almost.
Yeah.
And now he's in a sustainable version of that.
it was like his ape form, but now he is like
Exactly.
sustained ape.
So now we have no idea what the consequences could be of him getting pushed to this point. And it's incredible, man. Like these are the story moments. Like as a consistent narrative, no, Dragon Ball Z might not be the best anime ever, but you can't freaking tell me that you can beat these individual moments, dude. You just can't. And I've watched many animes and I've heard many people trash Dragon Ball Z, but it just can't be beaten.
Yeah.
I mean that. I think that very strongly.
I haven't watched much anime, but this is some sick shit for sure.
Yeah. Like it just it hits, man. You feel it on such a deep level. Yeah. I won't drag on. We get episode 185. It's called Awakening. We both gave a 7 to 184, right?
I have one note, and it is Gohan ain't messing around.
I love that they immediately established that, right? So
Yeah.
Gohan, he doesn't even need to talk, dude.
Yep.
Cell is a talker. He's not even a talker. He walks up slowly. His hair. Well, we get kind of like a redo of the Super Saiyan transformation, the Super Saiyan 2, where everyone's getting beat up. He's like, "Stop it!" And then we see 16's head get crushed again, and he's got the moment of power up. And delivers just good. He steals the sensu beans from Cell in an instant.
So
like he's
sick.
so fast that like Cell didn't even realize it. This isn't like instant transmission. This is him moving so fast that Cell couldn't even comprehend his movements.
He's like, what? He's still like got his hand holding
Yeah.
the sensu beans. It's just an empty.
And then he goes to get him back, and then Gohan like boom, just like that. He's so fast. He's up by the Z fighters with them.
He immediately. Well, the first thing he does is he instant transmission. Well, after grabbing the sensu beans, he instant transmissions to one of the Cell Juniors, and one hit.
Yeah, I mean
Turns into dust.
this is just speed. This isn't even like an instant transmission technique. They're two different things. This is just like he's so fast that no one can even like understand how fast he is right now.
Yeah, and so he immediately takes out a Cell Junior. So now
In one hit.
we are
Destroyed.
drawing upon the previous episode where we saw how strong the Cell Juniors were. They were able to block a Vegeta attack, and now Gohan, seemingly without even really trying, one hit,
no try,
disintegrates them.
So this is the like I love that the Cell Juniors exist because of this. This gives us such an important sense of power scaling, to where the Cell Juniors were basically effortlessly beating everyone and killing everyone. One hit, no effort. No anything. No even facial expression.
Kills them too.
Yeah.
Which, I mean, I don't know if you count it as a kill. I don't really know what the...
Oh, they're kills.
Okay, cool.
Yeah,
Because that makes
kills.
sense. Which is cool because it draws upon what 16 said, which is like, hey, dude, it's okay to do what you got to do when you're up against evil. And I think Gohan's like taking that to heart, and he's like, I'm predicting that he will kill Cell, and he's going to do what Goku necessarily doesn't do, which is kill, because Gohan, I think, might have a better realization of what evil versus good is.
So do you think... This is all theoretical. Do you think if we were in the same situation with Goku and Frieza as we are, if Gohan had Cell on the ropes to the extent that Goku had Frieza on the ropes, he was like cut in half, he had no energy left, do you think that Gohan would pull the same move that Goku did, give him energy and give him another chance at life? Or do you think that would not happen?
Dang, that's true.
And just be like a get out of here, never show your face again kind of thing.
I'm going to say no. I think it's going to be important for Gohan to kill, to drive home the fact that, like, you know, it's like Goku, like, it's a fault of his to not necessarily be a killer. And killing's obviously not great, but in the context of the show, when you're up against planet ending, like
he should have killed Frieza.
Yeah, like Frieza came back and was ready to do things. Fortunately, Trunks came through with the sword, but like, for all we know, if Trunks wasn't there, Frieza would have set out to do what he.
Because that's
failed to
before
do originally.
Vegeta could have
Yeah.
beaten Frieza.
Exactly.
And it worked out. It has worked out for Goku before, but that doesn't mean like it always will.
Yeah.
It's worked out with Piccolo and Vegeta or whatever.
Goku's problem, like, seemingly for me as someone on the outside and now on the inside, has always been like the Batman Joker problem. Like, just kill him. Like, kill the bad guy, and we're not gonna have to worry about it anymore. And I think
We're not so different after all.
16, like his entire monologue was about like doing what you need to do and not feeling like it's a sin to save the people that you love. And I think that it's gonna come down to Cell dying, because I don't know. I don't see Cell, just pissing off.
You think he could be reformed?
No, I don't.
Like
think
Vegeta?
So. Cell's entire thing is Cell's basically Vegeta, but like worse.
He's basically, in my opinion, like he is evil Goku.
Yeah.
Like for sure.
Yeah, he's gonna fight until he can't anymore, and like Cell's saying, I'm gonna fight or I'm gonna blow up the earth. So, I don't see him being like, well, you know what? You beat me. Good job.
And one of the most satisfying moments of this episode for me is Goku kind of like lets out a little laugh, like all he can muster, and he's just like, "Told you so."
Yeah. That's sick. Yeah.
Like, were you right? Maybe.
Yeah, but
Maybe.
it's one of those moments where I'd be like if Gohan should have been like, "Dad, shut the hell up."
Yeah.
like
Shut up. Yeah, I feel like I don't know if he's talking to himself, he's talking to Piccolo, he's talking to Gohan, and
if he's talking about Piccolo's probably like, "I'm gonna break your back." Goku.
And we get just like being able to see Goku's pride in a few shots. Like he's proud of Gohan. He knew he could do it, and he's really proud of him.
He's probably like feeling pretty good too, because he's like,
thank God.
Yeah, we were real close to this not happening, so
Yeah.
I'm feeling pretty good about myself right now. And this episode is basically Gohan taking out the other 6 Cell Juniors. He takes out all 7 of them.
Yeah.
And while this is happening, he's not really paying mind to Cell, and Cell is like shitting his pants, but also excited at the prospect of what's to come. Which is their fight.
kind of a dichotomy there.
Like he sees them. He sees, especially when he hits the first Cell Junior. Cell's face is like,
oh shit.
Yeah. And then he's smiling again, because I think he's, remembering I get to fight this guy next, and that's gonna be sick.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Is there? I mean, you got any other?
This
notes?
episode really, this episode serves its purpose as the slaughter of the Cell Juniors. Gohan remorselessly kills them all, more or less saving his friends, except for obviously 16 already bit the bullet, and then all the Cell Juniors are killed. We get a little other stuff here and there, but really for the all intents and purposes, that is what this episode is, and it is remarkable, man.
Yeah,
it's really good.
We end the episode. He's in this giant crater.
I just love they somehow make him look so young still, because he is, but he also looks so much more mature and like stronger. And I love the design of the hair. I love like the very important distinction between his two forms now, you could say. Yeah. Like it looks very different, and his attitude already is so much more. He said 5 words since then. Maybe. His attitude is so different already. He's not control. He's in control, and who knows what's gonna happen next. Yeah, and so the episode ends, and it's like I don't know if it's the narrator or somebody, but it's basically like time for the fight you've been waiting for. Oh yeah, and it's going down. I kind of wish we were watching more. Oh, I kind of do too. But so what do you any closing remarks? Like any predictions? Any character moments you want to point out? I think this is gonna be the last fight. Like I think it's gonna be Gohan versus Cell to the end, and I think Cell is gonna lose by dying to Gohan. I would love to see Cell. There's no way, I don't think, for this to happen, but I would love to see Cell go down in like a Wicked Witch of the West kind of way. Like I would like if he like somehow was reverted from like his highest form to like his lowest form until he's like a bug, and then Gohan just steps on him or something. That'd be sick. Do you think don't know if he can just revert. So do you think okay, so say this is another theoretical. Say, Gohan's like cleaning house or whatever. Yeah. Pushes Cell into a corner. He's on the edge of his life, whatever. Do you think that there's any like drastic? Do you think that Cell is the type of character that would own the loss, or do you think that he would try to pull something drastic? Oh, he's gonna try to pull something drastic. He's already. I mean, he's not. He already like panicked when Goku gave up and was like, "I'm gonna blow up the Earth now." Yeah, he's gonna try to like weasel his way out with some kind of bargain or deal, and hopefully Gohan. I think he'll try to do that, and then Goku's going to be telling Gohan, like, don't do it, don't kill, like, listen to him, and then I think Gohan's going to be like, nah, Dad, I'm going to do what you can't do. You don't think Goku at this point would encourage the kill? No, I don't think so. Goku has killed before. He has, but, like, not not the ones he needs to, really. I think the major one is Frieza here, yeah, but... he's pure of heart. Like, but if he would have killed Vegeta, they would have been screwed.
Yeah, if he would have killed Vegeta, like a lot of different things
That would
be
definitely
different.
change.
But I don't think Cell needs to be around.
It does feel different to
Yeah.
me. Like it feels like Vegeta, looking back, like was irredeemable in his arc almost, but Cell is like, I don't know. To me, I don't know what the distinction is, but it does feel different.
Yeah.
Like he's worse.
Yeah.
Which I don't even know if.
I wonder, like, watching it back in the day, how it would have been like. Because, like, now, I mean, even back then, even when we watched the first episodes, I knew Vegeta would turn out to be, like, this anti-hero.
Yeah, because,
friend of them.
everyone knows Goku and Vegeta is, like,
Yeah.
the two main characters.
And Cell, I don't know. I didn't know really anything of Cell other than, like, I could recognize, like, the green of him. But, like, I have no idea where he goes. I don't know if he goes, like, or what. So he could become an anti-hero, but I don't see that happening. I think he's going to die.
God, I can't wait to watch more. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you for sticking with us through this double episode. Please share with your friends.
It's a big double episode, too.
That's
We
the
came back-
longest episode
Came back
yet.
with a meaty one.
Yeah, meaty one. It's some meat and potatoes. Please share with your friends and all the Dragon Ball Z fans alike, and drop comments. It makes us very happy to see comments and likes and retweet and follow us on Twitter and so on and so forth. Spotify guys and Apple Podcast guys, we hear you too. We know you exist. We focus mostly on the YouTube because we just do, but we appreciate all of our audio listeners as well. Can't wait to come back next week with the big old meaty episode 57. I think we're going to be hyped up in here.
Yeah, I think so.
And that's really pretty much all I got. Find out next time on Dragon Ball Speak.
Flaming fish sticks.